Alright, so this video is just going to start. There's plenty probably to criticize about it. The lighting's probably not good. The audio may not be good. If I start nitpicking at things, I'll never get this shot. I have to shoot something. I have to put it up. I can't say that there's any point in me shooting this video. The angle is kind of wrong because I'm having to use my flat screen because just about a week ago, for no apparent reason, the monitor that I've been using for the last 10, 15 years just stopped working. I don't know why. So normally this would be further down, but I've got this little webcam perched on the top of a flat screen TV because that's doubling as my monitor right now. So anyway, I need to find things to talk about just so I can do a lot of videos, because I figure that the reason I got to the point I am in my life is that people don't know who I am because I keep everything hidden. I don't share my interests with other people. I'm not saying that there's any way for me to monetize any of this. Of course not. I don't know what I have, what skill I have that I could monetize, which makes, you can't monetize something. Okay, this is going to turn into like just a rant about how frustrated I am with life. I'm going to try not to do that. Well, you know, it's just, I know I have skills. I don't know how to monetize them, so they're worthless. Okay. What do you want me to do? All right, look. So I'm going to title this video Letting Off Some Steam. So it serves a dual purpose because I'm basically going to take you through some of the Steam stuff that I enjoy and tell you what it is that I've been doing all this time, twiddling my thumbs, not having a job, which not particularly a whole lot recently, but I did sit here for a good 4 or 5 years. You wouldn't believe it. Literally just sat around this apartment and did not work for about 5 years. Which is also why I know something's going to need to happen, because I don't have that much money saved up this time. So it's going to run out a lot faster than it did the last time. And if you knew how much money I had saved up from my Robins Air Force Base job, you might be tempted to punch me if you knew that I just let it all dissipate. Instead of doing something productive with it, because I had a guilty conscience the size of a whale. I figured I was a terrible employee, and that's how my brain works, like I didn't deserve the money. And I'm incredibly self-abusive, so that's why I was like, why I have to waste the money. I have to waste the money. Anyway, maybe explaining, okay, The Witness, right? This is a game, it's a game designer called Jonathan Blow. He did another game called Braid. And actually, this is one thing I can talk about. Braid is like a really mind-twisting game. It's like a side-scrolling platformer, kind of Mario Brothers type of thing. Only it breaks down in weird ways. There's time loops and slow motion and all kinds of weird things going on, and like replaying, like different instances of the character are replaying over, like within a time loop, and you have to get the recorded version of your character to do something for the actual version of your character to be able to progress. And it's all kinds of weird stuff. And when I played this game the first time several years ago, I just kept caving. I kept going for a walkthrough. It's like, okay, look, I don't know how to get through this level. Tell me how to get through the level. And I got to the end of the game, and I felt this, I didn't feel the fulfillment, because I was like, I didn't solve, like, I didn't feel like I earned the end of the game, because it's like I had my hand held through half of it. And so I just got this goal in mind, like if I play to be on the lookout for other games like this and not use the walkthroughs as much as possible, and actually, if I can't solve a puzzle, walk away. Don't quit on it. Like, walk away and come back to it. So he did another game called The Witness, and I went into it like, okay, No walkthrough. I'm not. And this is a game where you, multiple times in this game, you have no idea what's going on. Things don't seem to lead anywhere, which I love, by the way. It's like there's no tutorial. You have to just learn through trial and error how the puzzle mechanics work. And without spoiling too much of the game, there's not like, I'll just say, if you like solving puzzles, it's a great game. It's an amazing game for puzzle solving. And if you love a narrative and a really great storyline, then this is a great game for solving puzzles. Yeah, it's about, and there's a lot going on the island, and it really is just about solving the puzzles. And you think it's leading somewhere. And it might lead somewhere, and a lot of times during the game you're thinking, I don't think this actually builds towards anything, which can drive some people crazy. And I won't give away the ending, but I really like the way they ended the game. Anyway, basically you're just drawing lines, and I could probably give like screenshots, stuff like that. That requires effort. Look, this is just like baby steps doing videos. There's a lot, believe me. I see a lot of YouTube content creators that are good at that. There's a level of adequate, and I'm far below it. I realize I am. I don't have a proper microphone or like proper lighting or environment. I'm not using headphones, and I don't have visual elements. I'm not interlacing with, SpongeBob memes or whatever. Not that everybody does that, but like, people look more professional than this, and unfortunately, I don't really care if it looks professional. I just got to get some stuff off my chest. This isn't even trying to like become, you think, oh, you're going to become a YouTube content creator. No, I don't believe, it's like Uber Eats and DoorDash. You don't make any money at that. It's not a proper job. Okay? Maybe somehow by doing these videos, it becomes a sort of resume or sort of job interview to show people my personality and my attributes in a way that I'm never going to be able to put on a resume adequately. And don't get me started on my whole resume rant. The idea that and that's the other thing. It works for everybody else, and you look around and everybody else worked it out, and I seem to be the only person for whom it doesn't work. And then you have nobody to complain to, because it's like, well, yeah, we all got it to work. You just need to be better at it. I don't know. I just think I'm the kind of person that doesn't really translate to a piece of paper. And that somehow that makes me a failure, which up to this point in my life, I would have thought, yeah, you're right, I am a failure. And now I'm finally at the point where like, am I? Or do I actually have skills and I'm being misunderstood? All right. Some of the other games, Talos Principle is amazing. I didn't even realize there was a second game until, speaking of people on YouTube, Pablo Torre, who's been on ESPN a lot, kind of in the whole kind of extended Dan Le Batard universe, which is a whole other video I could do. I enjoy the hell. I don't listen to it much anymore, but I'm glad that Dan Le Batard's out there, and Stu Gatz and the Shipping Container and all of that. And Pablo has his own show, Pablo Torre Finds Out, and he had Katie Nolan on. Occasionally he'll have Katie on as a guest just to shoot the shit or whatever. And she brought up out of nowhere Talos 2, and I was like, wait, first of all, she knows what that is, and second of all, there's a second game. I've played most of it now. The reason I had to take it off is I've got a PC that does not have enough hard drive. I don't know how I managed to do that with the last PC I bought. So I literally don't have enough room for this entire game and all the DLC. So I didn't technically get through all the DLC, like the toughest part of it, but it was already taken up. I had to take off so much other stuff on this PC that, Anyway, so these are the kind of games that I like. Superliminal, where it messes around with perspective. Antichamber is a really weird one. I mean, really abstract and avant-garde. uh, and strange, and there's like non-Euclidean stuff going on. Baba Is You, I bailed after about 8 or 9 levels. This one, Steven Sausage Roll, is super difficult. And I never got through the whole thing. I got to a point where I just bailed on it and then came back to it later. And because I was like, there were 2 or 3 levels that I could not get. I left it, I came back and like plowed through like 20 more levels and then got stuck again and never went back to it. The only thing, there's this guy named, it's like Zachtronics or whatever his name is. He did a game called TIS 100, which is like assembly language kind of stuff, like actual programming. And that's literally all the game is just programming. By the way, you see that stuff isn't installed. That's because, well, yeah, and the way that things go in my life, I bought an external hard drive for some extra storage, then discovered that I can't run games off the external drive. It's just for storage. And a few days ago, I've got a problem where some of the USB ports on my PC are busted, and I forgot about that and plugged the cable into one of them and then shorted out the cable or something. So I can't even access this thing anyway because the cable's shot. So, you know. Anyway, I just have my shit together so well, don't I? Super Fancy Pants. That I used to spend a lot of time on a website called Congregate. I don't anymore. I don't know. The bigger version of this, the gameplay is a little bit frustrating at times. The Room 2, that's like the point and click, grab an item, put it here, and you're trying to get out of a room, that kind of genre. Solus 128 is a really cool one. The Stanley Parable, it's interesting, but there's not. It's more like this philosophical thing, which The Witness is too, but the Stanley Parable, it does get kind of tedious after a while because it's kind of being a little bit too meta about this is a game and this is how games work, and calling attention to the fact that it is a game. And after a while, and of course I've got real Myst, because this is where all of this started, was being a huge Myst enthusiast, and I could do a whole thing about that. Outer Wilds had an interesting concept. I'll give you the one, and there were frustrating parts of the gameplay, but the big part, one word, anglerfish. If you know the game, why there are giant, terrifying anglerfish in this game. They didn't need to put them there. Freaked me out. This one is incredible. Manifold Garden. It's like an art piece. It's hard to describe. Just do it because it's beautiful. Now, was it Hexseed? Well, there's another game called Hexseed. I've got it. I have a love-hate relationship with Hexseed that I won't go into. All right, if you want, and now Filament, it has a similar property to The Witness, where only Filament, it gets more frustrating. If you want puzzles that frustrate the hell out of you, but once you finally solve them, you feel like a genius. Once you actually come up with the solution, and you're like, holy crap, I can't believe that I got that. The Witness is good for that. Filament, I just started playing it again a couple days ago, and I'm already just completely demoralized with it. Because, God, when these get tough, and of course, there's Portal, and Portal 2. Portal 2 may be the greatest game I've ever played. If I had to pick one that's the greatest, I could easily pick Portal 2. They are phenomenal. And of course, Portal Stories, which was like a fan-made kind of modded version, where like the people in the Portal fan community like came up with their own game, and like their own test chambers and their own like separate narrative involving Aperture Science. Abduction, that was Rand Miller. It's a VR game that the guy that created Myst created. Uh, it was fantastic. Missed games have this quality. Some of them, in Abduction definitely had this, where there are multiple endings and there's one good endings and like 4 or 5 bad endings where you get punished. Like, no, you did that wrong. You ruined everything. And of course I picked the wrong ending. So then when you pick the right ending, you feel like a jerk because like, oh, I was supposed to pick that to start with. Um, but those are, and then there's the real time wasters, which are idle games, like Time Clickers or Adventure Capitalist. You would not believe the amount of hours I wasted on a phone, day after day, like obsessively checking Adventure Capitalist and then Adventure Communist after that. And I just found another one called Revolution that I've got open right now that I'm wasting a lot of time with. Well, I just closed it, but it, like, there's no explanation needed. It's just a thing that you run and you get like pointless achievements. That's what I love doing in life, is just racking up Steam achievements. Like I just found out about a game called Viewfinder like last week and just didn't know about it. It's kind of too short, but it's got a fascinating concept to it. I don't go for first-person shooters. I go for the more abstract, kind of brain-bending, puzzly games. And I feel like an 8-year-old trying to get any credit for getting a certain amount of Steam achievements. You obviously know as you're doing this, this doesn't actually matter in the real world. Unfortunately, it satisfies me to do stuff like this. Yeah, there it is. Just don't worry about it. It's a pointless exercise that gets you nowhere in life. It doesn't get you laid. It doesn't get you success. Doesn't get you fame. Doesn't get you money. I don't enjoy the things that actually get you success and get you noticed. I don't enjoy doing those things. It just seems to come down to a lot of just do a lot of things and just constantly be doing things. And, you know, I can tell, oh, Dr. Langeskov, that's a really fun one. It's really short, but it's funny. And it would appear that everybody else but me has that chip in their brain where they're, look around, well, married, got jobs, and I'm sitting here, not married, no relationship, no job. What? And then it's like, oh, well, don't worry, we'll help you out with it. Like, I didn't ask for help. By help, they mean, oh, we'll program you like to be like the rest of us. I didn't say I wanted to be like the rest of you. And then it comes to like, well, it's not really help. It's like you have to. It's like just be yourself. Like, I am being myself. That's the, you know, I've said that in other videos, but anyway. And I've already run my mouth, I think, for like 20 minutes almost already. So, all right, okay. This is not professional, but that's okay. There will be more of these, and the point is to record it and actually put it out publicly so someone might actually have the ability to see it. All right.